Spring is upon us, and our new moon is really showing that. Stay tuned to find out all the deliciousness that's coming up for us in this new moon cycle. The Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to your new moon musings for the new moon on March 10th. And I'm so excited to be connecting with you guys here. There's going to be a lot of really interesting information. The energies are kicking, so it's going to be really important that we focus today. And I'm hoping that that's what the cards are going to do. And for those of you who are old hat at this and know me and watch these things all the time, you know what to do. Click on the timestamp below to get to our intro and the release card and get started with your reading. For those of you who are new to me, here's a quick little breakdown on how to make this reading work for you. The new moon cycle works where it moves in 3.5 basically days throughout that 28-day cycle. So sometimes you're in a phase a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. It is not linear. But what I do is I give you dates connected to each of the phases of the new moon cycle so that you can come back to the video after you've watched the whole thing, you've taken it all in, you come back to that video for those particular times so that you understand, okay, I'm in, the waxing crescent phase, and what do I need to know about that? What is transpiring in my world right now? And this information is really helpful because it's giving me perspective on what it is I need to learn, or maybe I need to pull back, or maybe I need to lean in a little bit more. So use this. It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. Use it throughout the month to support you. So stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit about that full moon energy, the new moon energy, and get all the delicious goods on the flip side. All right, let's get to it. Our new moon is on March 10th this year, and it is in Pisces. So welcome to Pisces season. And let's talk a little bit about Pisces season. Pisces is a water sign, so it tends to be more emotional, more dreamlike. Sometimes you can lose yourself in, I want to say, that imaginative space and moving in and moving through that energy without wanting to bring things into tangibility. I just want to be floating around up here in the ethers. I don't necessarily want to be bringing it down into the physical. But of course, we live in the physical. We live in the physical body. We need to manifest those material needs and items that we have. So Pisces is deeply intuitional. And so what you want to do is you want to really recognize where your intuition, your spidey senses are really active. Take the time to float around in the ethers, enjoy it, soak it up, and then figure out ways to practically bring it into your physical realm, into the now. That's going to be a really important message for all of us this month, because the collective energies are really going to be, I want to say, we're going to have a little bit of push-pull. There's going to be this momentum that's been created for the last couple of months, and then all of a sudden we get into this pie in the sky and not necessarily wanting to enact what it is that we've received. So you don't have to push yourself, but what I would say is putting structure around your scheduling, structure around your needs. This new moon cycle will be super beneficial. So we're going to start. I'm pulling cards today from the Crystal Visions or Tarot deck, sorry. And then I'm going to pull an affirmation card from the Moon Magic Oracle affirmations from Stacey DeMarco. So we're going to pull a release card to see what we're releasing from the previous cycle. And this is really interesting. So we've got 7 of Pentacles, and 7 of Pentacles is a card of reaping rewards. It's the card of the harvest. And I feel like what we're really kind of stepping into right now as we're releasing is this idea that we don't have enough. The harvest didn't come in. We didn't do all the things and the stuff that we were supposed to do. And so we're nervous about moving forward. I feel like there's a release that needs to happen right now. It's intentional about releasing that fear of moving forward, even though we don't necessarily have all of our ducks in a row. So step into more of a space of trust, really leaning into that universal support, that universal wisdom and energy, and saying, whatever you're bringing to me, I know it's what I need. So sometimes it's just about figuring out how to make it work for me. What is this trying to tell me? By releasing this, what am I making room for? I feel like we're kind of boosting our courage at this time. I feel like that's what this card is sort of indicating for us, is an opportunity for us to toot our own horns, to boost our confidence, and make the step forward, even if we don't feel that we're fully ready. You can be partially ready, is what I want to say. Kind of half measures lead to the whole enchilada. So that's what we want to be releasing, is that need to have all of our ducks in a row. Take the first step. That's what's important. Now we're going to pull our soul card. And our soul card is really, I love doing the soul card because it's really important for helping us to understand on an individual level what is going on collectively, energetically, and how that's going to trickle down into our day-to-day lives. It also shows us how we can show up in the collective, how we can contribute in positive ways. This is how we collectively are growing. So let's see what we got. Ooh, we got Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I just heard in my head, luck is on our side. So the soul card for this new moon cycle, luck is on our side. Not only is it on our side, it's important and imperative that we take calculated risk. We're not going to grow. We're not going to shift. We're not going to evolve unless we actually move forward. And what were we releasing? Fear around moving forward, fear around taking that next step because we don't have all of the I's dotted and T's crossed. The Wheel of Fortune says that's just kind of an illusion anyway. When the Wheel of Fortune comes in, it's how external forces affect our inner environment and our outer environment. It's the chance. It's the luck. It's the Vegas card, right? It's the gamble. And life is a gamble. We have put it in our heads that there's some kind of guarantee, but there is no guarantee. Everything is about chance and change and shift. So the soul card is inviting you now to kind of take a look at all of that and say, okay, I need to take some calculated risk on my behalf. I'm doing it for me. And when I do these things for me, I'm affecting the collective in a really positive way as well, because I am encouraging the collective and anyone in the collective that might be full of fear to rise beyond that fear or to sometimes push through that fear. This year, the theme, one of the big themes this year for us is breakthrough energy. And I feel like that's what's coming through here. The chance, the luck, the fact that we don't know, we're spinning the wheel and it's a crapshoot. That's the excitement of it all. And that's how we're learning to shift and grow and evolve through not adversity, although, adversity, yes, we learn through adversity, but through the excitement of change. Things get boring when they're just the same all the time. Nobody would really want that. We all say that that's our ideal and we'd like that. What we really mean is we would like a little bit of stability within the things that we're enjoying. We'd like a little stability on the ride. We don't want the ride to be so rickety, but it's kind of what we signed up for. So how can you bring a little more of your own grounding, your own centering, and your own core when the rest of the world is bringing the shift, the change, the risk? And how can you embrace that? So I feel like that's a really important message for all of us. I love that. All right, now we're going into our new moon card. And the new moon energy, as we talked about, it's that Piscean energy. So we're going into the dreams, we're going into kind of the darker, the deeper, the psyche stuff. So you want to just kind of be prepared for the fact that you may be feeling some kind of like mental health stuff where there's a lot of stuff in your mind. And I want to say you want to do self-care to not be in your head so much. You might also be recognizing that in others. Others may not be fully present. They might not have presence of mind when they're talking to you, interacting with you. I'm seeing getting in a car and driving and people being a little cuckoo on the road. It reminds me of holiday time, Christmas time, when everybody is moving and shaking, and it's kind of like as soon as the holiday season turns in, everybody forgets how to drive, or everybody gets selfish. I need to get to this place, and I'm not considering that everybody else is needing to get to their place. And so, you get people cutting people off and stealing parking spots and all the rest of it. So the new moon energy, I feel, is calling us right now to really tune into that so that we don't allow that to take us over. That's really important. We need to be aware and present. It's up to us. We are in charge of the energy that we bring to the table, to the room. To the conversation. We're in charge of that. We're responsible for that. So be accountable. All right, our card is Ace of Swords, and I love this for our new moon energy. So this Ace of Swords energy, when we're talking about March 10th through the 13th, we're really going to be in a space here of new thought. There's going to be a lot of inspiration. There's going to be a lot of energy that is encouraging us, opening us up to the new. And we've already talked about that, the Wheel of Fortune. I didn't mention this, but it's a 10, new beginnings based on an already established foundation. And now we've got an ace, which in tarot is the 1. It's the 0. It's that potential, the pure potential, the new energy. So aces are about new beginnings. The 10 is the new beginnings based on an already established foundation. This new moon cycle is really encouraging us to tap into our intuition, to be open to receiving what is coming through for us and being able to apply it. I always like to say a potential is a nothing burger unless you actually put it into practice. You put it into good use. All of the wisdom and knowledge and intelligent book work and learning means nothing if you're not using it to your advantage, if you're not using it for that evolution. So feeling very much that in this particular space and place, we are going to be running into situations where we're going to be receiving a lot. And it's up to you whether or not you choose to receive it. It's up to you whether or not you're choosing to, I want to say, step into that space and into that energy and allow yourself to go and grow. I'm also feeling like for those of you who are kind of in that energy or that mode of I'm kind of tired or bored with what it is that I'm doing from a work perspective. I really want to change, but I don't really know what that's going to look like. I feel like the new moon energy is going to be bringing about a lot of opportunity, a lot of interesting scenarios, interesting alternatives to what it is that you're doing. Don't judge anything or dismiss anything out of turn. Give yourself the opportunity to consider, ruminate on it a little bit, consider it, roll it around, noodle it in your brain. Let yourself explore, well, what if? What if I were to do that? What if I were to, leave this job and go into something that I never thought I was going to go into before? What if I were to allow my mind to expand and see my friendships or my relationships in a different way? What if I were to say, I'm just going to go ahead and book that trip and I'll figure it all out later because I'm manifesting and co-creating my desires? So new moon, it's a great time for manifestation, but this is really saying in this energy, you want to really harness this because you don't have all of your I's dotted and T's crossed, but you don't need it because this is the energy of pure potential. Pure potential means when you put action towards it, it becomes something. It gets the ball rolling. So you want to really get the ball rolling. Now let's pull an affirmation card for our new moon. I always pull an affirmation for the 4 quarters, basically, of the spread. And what we've got here, every day I focus on what is important. So when we're talking about that Ace of Swords and we're in that imagining space and we're receiving the guidance, the wisdom, the knowledge, all of that deliciousness, it's important that we understand what we're focusing on. And I think I mentioned that at the beginning of the reading as well, is that focus is going to be really important because there's going to be a lot of, I want to say, disjointed energy. There are going to be a lot of individuals who are focusing more on their emotional state and trying to escape the body, escape the physical, escape the material, and the to-do list to be more in that pie in the sky. So every day I focus on what's important. And maybe today what's important for you is focusing on that pie in the sky. Maybe today what's important for you is focusing on getting the bills paid or doing the chores or cleaning the house. Maybe it's, I need to make some money. I need to earn. I need to do what I need to do. So tune in every day, especially during this new moon, potent new moon time and energy, and focus on what is important, because it'll never steer you wrong. If you take the time to put some energy around that and put some structure around your scheduling, you'll be so much more successful. You'll be so much more ahead of the game in terms of navigating what these energies are and how they're coming through. Okay, so now we've got our waxing crescent, and our waxing crescent moon is the 14th through the 16th energy. And just give me one quick second. I just realized that I've been forgetting to kind of tell you about the new moon. So the new moon card is I manifest. What energies are here to support my manifesting, and how can I lean into their wisdom? Now with the waxing crescent card, we're in I plan. What do I need to consider when creating my plan for the cycle? Any changes or opportunities to be aware of? So we've got the Page of Cups, and I love the Page of Cups coming in after the Ace of Swords, because it's almost like the cards are speaking to us in a natural progression. So the ace is that pure potential. The page says, ooh, I love that idea. Now let me formulate a plan. Let me do a little bit of research to see what this can become and what I might need to do, what I might need to focus on in order to bring this to life. So the Page of Cups is all about creativity. And I feel like when we're talking about this I plan, what do I need to consider? It's not losing sight of that innocence, that playfulness, that when you are in your imagination, the imagination allows us to be more creative. It allows us to bring creative flow into our lives and into our energy. Creative flow is all around us. It's there. It's accessible at any given time. We're the ones that put a stop to it. We're the ones that either overthink about the situation, or we get so caught up and focused on the control of it, the micromanaging. Well, it's supposed to look this way, but it's coming through in this way. If you stop that, you're stopping that creative flow. You're stopping the intuition. You're stopping perhaps the idea's full potential from being realized. So I want to say Page of Cups is saying to you, as you're making the plan, get out of your own way. Don't allow the plan to get so, again, we're letting go of the needing to have the I's dotted and T's crossed. We're very much, I want to say, I feel like this was last month too. We're in free fall. Like, it's a trust fall. It's kind of like, okay, universe, take me on the ride. Clearly I don't know everything, and I'm not going to know everything, even though I really want to. That's part of the challenge. That's part of the job. So when you're planning, you want to really step into this energy of, okay, I'm being in that creative flow. I'm being in that creative source energy and allowing it to dictate to me the next steps that I'm going to pursue, not me laying out the steps and then having the universe provide. I want to say we have to be in a space of kind of reverse engineering, understanding that, okay, the only focus we have is the feeling of the outcome that we want, the outcome's success, but how we get there is not up to us, or it is up to us because we always have choice, but if it's up to us, sometimes we can limit ourselves. So Page of Cups is saying, let's throw out the limitation and let's create a plan and formulate a plan with source. Let's formulate a plan out of that creative energy, or in the flow of that creative energy. Let's let the creative flow energy dictate to us what opportunities are coming up next, what choices we will be faced with, and what decisions we'll make as a result of that. So that's going to be really important. I want to say, let go of the need to be right, let go of the need to understand completely how things are going to unfold. This card also is very much a card that inspires organic unfoldment. This one and the Page of Pentacles, very much about organic unfoldment. Be in the space and the energy, follow the motivation, follow your feelings around it, but don't take it back. Don't start to logicize and rationalize it. Don't bring it into the head. It doesn't need to be in the head right now. It needs to be in that heart and that soul space. All right, so now we've got our first quarter moon, and this is March 17th through the 20th. And that first quarter card is the mantra. The affirmation is I act. So we manifested, we created a plan, and now we're acting out. So what energy fuels my motivation? How can I collaborate with source energy to empower my actions? Delicious. We've got Six of Wands. So Six of Wands is really important here because it is the energy of victory. It is the energy of I've arrived, I've successfully accomplished a particular goal. There's still more to go, but I've kind of connected with this energy and it feels really good. What I love about this particular card depiction is it reminds me very much of Leo energy because we've got this beautiful lion and, this dude is kind of riding on the back of the lion. So the lion heart, the heart energy. But we are talking about wands, which is soul flame energy. So this is a clear combination of my soul spoke and my heart responded and acted out what my soul wanted. So there was a deep partnership between the heart and soul. And because of that, there's great victory. Yeah, there's more to go, but let's celebrate in that energy. There's no head involved in this process. The head stuff comes later because really the head is supposed to be kind of it's the tool that enacts the heart's wishes, right? So it comes later on in the process. We always try to bring the head into the first part of the process, right? The planning and the strategizing. But we've been taught, no, this is not what it's about. Even with the Ace of Swords, which is very much the realm of the mind, it's about intuition. I'm receiving intuitively what's going on, but I'm not taking my thoughts and grabbing on. Instead, I'm going into the flow of creativity. And then out of that, I receive this heart and soul combination, this collaboration, and it's victorious. It feels delicious. Many of us are going to have a particular experience where you're going to feel like, I want to say it feels like you're surprised that it worked out. It's kind of like you decide, all right, well, this opportunity is presenting itself to me. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I don't even know if I really wanted it, but here it is. If I choose to say yes to it, when it comes out favorably, I'm really surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. I feel like there's going to be an energy of this during this particular period of time for many of us, where we're going to have that experience of, oh my God, that really worked. And what you want to learn from that or take from that experience is you didn't have all of your I's dotted and T's crossed. You didn't need to know exactly how everything was going to pan out. And it worked out beautifully. And perhaps in some cases, it works out even better than you could have imagined. I had no idea how that was going to play out. I just followed my intuition, or I just did what I was told. And look at that. Look at how it panned out. So the Six of Wands is coming through in a really positive way to say when you're starting this new beginning and you're following your heart and you're listening to your soul and you're doing all of this deliciousness, there will be alignment to your goals, to what you're manifesting for this particular new moon cycle. So be open to it. Put the head on a shelf for a little while. You're not going to do stupid things because you're not allowing the head to rule the roost and run the show. You're just putting it on the back burner for a little while and getting clarity around the things that matter, which is what's going to make you feel good. What's really going to accelerate you to those true goals and desires, because the head is connected to the ego, and the ego is often fearful. So you get these wonderful ideas, and then the ego pops up and says, but wait, you got to have all your I's dotted and T's crossed in order to do this. Oh my God, if you do this without any kind of anything, you're really going to be in trouble. Well, that's why you have the plan, but you're planning from a place of curiosity. You're planning from a place of creative flow, not from this is how it has to go. I feel like that's important. So here's our affirmation for that first quarter moon. I seek truth and act upon my realizations. This is beautiful because what is our truth? Heart and soul. The head often doesn't give us truth. The head often gives us ponderment, food for thought, gives us anxiety. This is where anxiety is born. It's born in the mind. So when the tool is not being used properly, when it's not being used in the way that it was designed to be used, it actually causes more harm than good. So this is saying that the truth that you're seeking is in your head, in your heart and your soul, not in your head. So I seek truth and act upon my realizations. Super cool. I'm loving this reading. Okay, now we are at our waxing gibbous, and this is March 21st through to the 24th. And the waxing gibbous card mantra is I choose. What energy can I lean into for confidence as I discern my commitments? So, choosing something means you're committing to a path. Even if you're just choosing it for yourself, you're making a commitment to yourself. If you're choosing it with your guides, you're making a commitment to your guides. If you're making a commitment, if you're choosing something collaboratively with, people in your inner circle or at work, you're making a commitment. Energetically, you're committing to that. So here's how this can support you. Oh my God. So we've got the Ace of Wands. So we started with the Ace of Swords, which is that inspired thought. And now we have inspired action. So I feel very much that now as we're in this waxing gibbous card, the choosing it's a yang energy. It's divine masculine. It's active. This is where we're starting to move forward. We're saying, okay, we've got all of this other stuff in place. We still don't have all of our ducks in a row, but we recognize we don't need it. Now we're being inspired to take the first move, to take the first step. And that first step is really going to be powerful, provided that we are still in our soul and heart combination or collaboration space. It's not a time for the head to come back into the mix yet. We need to stay in that deep connection to the heart enacting the soul's wishes, the soul's desire. And I feel very much that in this time and space for every single one of us, there's going to be one of those soul crises or soul realizations of, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? It could even be a complete realization of, oh my God, I've been doing this and this and this, thinking that this was the purpose, but now I'm seeing over here, this was the goal all along. Wow, okay, I can release all of this, and now let me explore what this path has to offer, what this path can hold for me. So I feel like there's going to be not only inspired action around sort of the planning of what you've put into place, but there's also going to be opportunity to grow, to go and grow, to see yourself in that bigger picture, in that bigger light. And it's all connected to this Ace of Wands. Check out this beautiful dragon that is wrapped around this beautiful wand energy with the gorgeous sort of ruby type crystal. The dragon is a protective energy. The dragon is also about intelligence, being proactive rather than reactive. And I feel like that's what you want to be doing here is any of those realizations that are happening are encouraging you to be proactive, encouraging you to look a little bit ahead and to say, what is this showing me now? If this is the potential now, what can become? I need to be proactive now so that I can harness that energy of what is to come. So there's going to be, I want to say, a lot of movement in this particular time period. also the opportunity for you to harness a lot of energy in an active, intentional way. Not so much that you're, trying to do all 10 steps, but to really expand in the energy of what you're being shown and where you're at in that moment. So that feels really big. All right, now we are moving on to we're at our full moon card already. Awesome. So let's talk about the full moon. It's a Libra full moon, and it's called a worm moon. And the worm moon energy, this is March 25th to the 28th. I don't know exactly why specifically they call it a worm moon. I didn't do any research on that for this today. What I'm really feeling intuitively is when I think about worms and I think about worm energy, worms are in the soil, so that pentacle energy, right? They're earth-based. They don't have legs. They don't have feet. I don't even know if they have eyes or not. They just use their sensory and they use their body to move around. Well, what are they doing? They're creating tunnels in the soil. They are providing a space where oxygen can get in and nutrify, Stacy word, give nutrition to the soil. So I'm feeling like this new moon, when we're speaking from a Libran perspective, Librans tend to be very much about relational. How are we relating to one another? I feel like this full moon energy is giving all of us the opportunity to oxygenate our relationships. And any relationship needs space to breathe. Any relationship needs oxygen in order for it to survive. If you think about us as humans, if we don't have oxygen, the body dies, right? The brain dies and out we go. So I feel like there's an opportunity here in this full moon energy to pause and breathe, to take a look at what areas or what relationships in your life need a little more oxygen. Where are you putting your focus? Because what you're putting your focus to, you're going to give it nutrients. There's a word and I can't think of it. So I'm sure you guys are all like, it's this, like it's a game show. And you're like, I know the word. Can't you get the word? I can't get the word. I'm in the clouds. So anyway, you're oxygenating your relationships at this time. So let's see what our card is. Oh, beautiful. The Magician, and it's another one. So again, the new beginnings, that springtime energy, and the Magician is all about manifestation. So if you are really in that space of oxygenating your relationships at this particular time, it's understanding that the Magician has all the resources at his fingertips. He's got the wands, he's got the cups, he's got the swords, he's got the pentacles, he's got all of the elements, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, right? He brings the spirit. He brings, as above, so below. He brings above into the physical and into the reality. So I feel that there's a lot of energy here around whatever you breathe oxygen and breathe life into and put your focus to, you're going to be very successful at it because he is creating for you. This energy is helping you to create better situations, better relationships. And for those of you who are going to have some uncomfortable conversations with some of the people in your inner circle, you want to understand that you want to speak from the heart space always, and understand that even though it might be a very difficult conversation, it might be a few days to work it through, or even, sometimes a few weeks to work something through, there will be success. And there's success because you're choosing it, because you're standing in your power, because this is a new beginning. It's inevitable. It's going to be new regardless of whether you put intention towards it or not. So why not make the choice to intend what you want? Why not take the opportunity to manifest it in a way that it's really going to work out for your highest and best, rather than just saying, okay, whatever shows up. We're in that Wheel of Fortune energy. We're in that energy of, okay, we're going with the flow. But now with the magician says, okay, the flow is all here, and I've also got all of these resources. Let me alchemize that. Let me take this resource and put it in the flow and see what it wants to become. So it's application. I feel like I'm a broken record today with all of this stuff. A lot of really similar messages coming through. All right, let's see what our affirmation is. Oh, yeah, that just flipped right out there. Okay. I accept renewal and delight in fresh starts. New moon. Oh my God, like you can't make this shit up, right? We're just talking about all of the new energy, the new moon, the fresh. Now, obviously this is a new moon card on a full moon, but it's mirroring it. It's reflecting it. It's giving you the opportunity to look back on what is it that I started this journey with? What was it that I was trying to manifest? What was I creating? Now I'm at a space where I receive. The full moon energy is I receive. How can I best open to the energies of this full moon to receive clarity, guidance, or direction? What gift does this full moon offer to me? It's offering to you the delight of the fresh start and the opportunity for you to be able to be more of a player in the game of your own life. It's saying, I'm front and center. I'm front and center. No longer will I be on the back burner of my life. I'm taking charge by being in flow. I'm not taking charge by micromanaging and controlling what's transpiring. I'm taking charge by being in flow and recognizing what's showing up for me is showing up for a reason. So let me find out what that reason is and let me have some fun in that creative process. Okay, now we're at our disseminating moon, and this is March 29th through to the 31st. So kind of a nice, I want to say, wrapping up of the end of a month that is happening in this disseminating moon energy. And so disseminating moon is I acknowledge. How can I best honor my gifts and my light during this time? Where can I express gratitude from the heart? We've got another six of pentacles. So 6 of pentacles is that card of investment and reinvestment. So it's about acknowledging how far you've come. It's acknowledging that you have brought yourself more into alignment. And that's what the energies of this month are doing for you, collectively as well as individually, helping you to see where alignment is practical, where alignment is necessary, where your alignment falls. It's helping you to find, not even seek the alignment, it's finding the alignment. It's showing you this is how you're going to be aligned. This is how you're going to get to where it is that you want to go. So when we're talking about that acknowledgement, I feel like each of us needs to take a little bit of time, maybe to do a little gratitude practice, maybe to connect to the energy of the wheel, the wheel of fortune that we were talking about, and understanding that calculated risk has paid off because we are the best investments in ourselves that we could ever make in our lives. And when we choose to take that risk, when we choose to make that investment, it might not work out in the ways that we think it's supposed to, but it's always working out. If you think about it, the fact that you and I are here watching this video or doing this video and having this exchange right now, it says that we have succeeded because we're still alive. We're still breathing air into our lungs. We're still here on the planet having these experiences. We judge it based on what we're, where we're not at, what we have left to go or what we have left to achieve. But really, I feel like this card is saying, evaluate where you're at. Even though it's a card of investment, it's also that card that says, look at all of the stuff that's in your environment. Look at all the stuff that's in your garden. Yeah, you don't want to pick them all right now because, there isn't enough to sort of sustain for you to harvest the whole thing. But there's definitely growth here. And you want to acknowledge that because when you acknowledge the growth, you bring more opportunities to grow in positive ways. You bring more things to be grateful for. And that is the journey of life. So I feel like this is a message for all of us to kind of acknowledge that we're doing the journey of life well. We're doing it right. Even though we judge ourselves and think that we're not, we're actually doing it right. And so this is going to be an energetic time to evaluate that, to give yourself the opportunity to really be truthful and honest about, what? I have taken a calculated risk and I am aligning to my truth. Even if it doesn't look, like sunshine and daisies, wine and roses the way I want it to, the reality of it is I've got what I need. And if I'm feeling like I don't have what I need, maybe I need to look at my resources again and shift the perspective, because maybe it's about alchemy, taking one resource and applying it to another resource to create the third resource that is the thing that you really need, being resourceful. All right. So now we are at our third quarter moon. I claim What is being completed in my life at this time? How can I connect to its release with conviction? So the third quarter moon introduces us to April energy. Happy April, April 1st through the 4th. And what we've got, beautiful, is a King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is basically saying, I mean, look at him. He has claimed it. He's claimed his environment. He's claimed that tree. He's claimed his kingdom. He's claimed his truth. You know, he's a guy that doesn't look like everything was perfect for him. He looks like a guy who, I mean, look at those arms. Like, he's gone and worked in the fields from time to time. You know, when he was a little boy, he learned what it meant to live. He learned what it meant, what it took to be able to have some of the finer things in life. He went through the paces. And now he's at a place where he's saying, you know what? I claim it all because it's all mine. And guess what? It's all yours. We have the right, the sovereign right to every single thing that is in front of us. Even though we think about it in terms of like monetary value, we get caught up in a lot of that stuff, or emotional value, value and worth issues. But at the end of the day, when you're talking spirit language, spirit says, you're all on the same planet. You all have access to all the same things and stuff. So what are you going to do about that? You all need the same things. So how are you going to go about creating those things, or getting those things, or resourcing those things for you? And that's part of the creative flow. People are going to do it differently. And King of Pentacles honors all of that because he sees that in his kingdom, everybody's doing it in their own way, but everybody's thriving. Everybody's got what they need. I feel like this I claim energy is really inviting you to step into your sovereignty and to understand that I don't have to rush, I don't have to bulldoze, I don't have to push. I just need to keep putting one foot in front of the other and trust and know that everything is already here. Everything's here at my disposal. I can relax, I can breathe a little bit. I don't have to bulldoze. I can stop and enjoy what's going on. I'm aware. I'm recognizing where I need to put a little more effort or a little more attention into something, but it's not from an extreme perspective. So I feel like that's really important for all of us, especially on that collective perspective, to not push, to not rush to judgment, to not force an issue, because it'll show itself. It'll definitely show itself. All right, let's get an affirmation for that one. That feels really good. This one's so pretty. I love this particular moon. It's like a super moon. Yes, I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. So King of Pentacles is very much that. He sits on his throne and he's like, I own it all. I own it all. It's all here for me. I'm not worrying about all of that. And anything that isn't for me, it's not going to show up, or it's not going to pan out and it's not going to work out. And I'm not getting in my head about it. I'm recognizing that I've got the foundation. So whatever is being attracted to me, I'm attracting it. And it's because that's what I need. And that includes some of the stuff that we deem as bad or negative, or experiences that we don't want. When we acknowledge it, we're able to move through it a lot faster. That, okay, it's showing me something that I want. And maybe it's showing me something that I want from the perspective of showing me what I don't want. You know, this is not what I'm interested in, so I'm repelling it, or it's being repelled by me, right? I'm repelling it intentionally, or they're repelling me because there's a part of me that recognizes I need to see that this isn't what I want in order to make clarity and make room for what it is that I do. So it's going to be very much a time where you do have a lot of clarity around what is showing up and why. And it's not judging it as positive or negative. It's looking at what's being presented. Why is it being presented? How do I want to respond to it? Because it's showing up for a reason. All right, and now we have our balsamic moon, and this is April 5th through the 7th. This is going to take us to the end of the cycle. And the mantra, the affirmation is, I surrender. What energy can I lean into to fly free into this new version of me? What can I consider as I embrace this opportunity to know myself anew? We've got 5 of Swords. So I mean, if there ever was sort of a surrender card, I mean, there is a surrender card. It's the Hanged one. But you know, in the minor arcana, this is a great one for surrender. There are a few that are really good in here, but this is a great one because Five of Swords indicates that there's a conflict. There's an issue that's being pushed or pressed or put into the forefront. And the invitation here is pay attention to what you're listening to. You know, I'm going to just share a quick little example. Years and years and years ago, I was working at this restaurant, and it was fascinating to me. It was brutal when I was there. I was managing and doing some marketing stuff for them, and there was a server who was under my purview that was just creating a lot of hassle, a lot of struggle, wreaking a lot of havoc, speaking, putting bugs in people's ears, saying things. And one of the things that she kept saying to me was that the bar manager, she was implying that the bar manager was saying things about my lack of skill or my lack of ability. And at the time I was super vulnerable, and I was taking these things to heart, and I'm like, I didn't do a thing to this person. I don't understand. I got totally caught up in this person dropping these little things. Come to find out, this person never said anything at all. The individual who was causing the problem was trying to get me out because she saw that I was seeing her gain. And she was like, I need to be the person to make the money, and I still need to have the flexibility with my kids. She told me that, actually. I won't waste any more time with the story, but months later, she saw me at the new job, and she was like a totally different person. And she said to me, I'm sorry that I did those things to you. It was very intentional, but I needed to get you out because you were kind of, you were wanting to do things fairly, and I need to take care of myself. I've got, I'm a single mom, and I've got a son, and I knew you were going to find another job because you're super, super smart, and, you would have figured it out. I mean, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God. But to recognize how I got caught up in these things that were being said, and I never went to the horse's mouth. I never got to figure all of that stuff out. I just went with all of the words and all the things and all of the stuff. And there was a lot of conflict that was around me. So I'm feeling like I'm sharing this with you guys because this particular period of time is encouraging you to surrender to what is, but not to engage in the conflict. If you're hearing things and you have questions, go to the horse's mouth, go straight to the horse's mouth about it, or choose not to engage in it. Choose not to engage in gossip, choose not to engage in or take at face value what some people are saying to you, what is being presented about a particular situation or a circumstance. Be in a space of surrendering to what is and observe, watch what's going on. Be aware of what's around you so that you don't get stabbed in the back. And, I don't feel like this is a dun, 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 like on a scale of 1 to 10 being horrible. This feels more like a 3 or a 4 energetically, but it is definitely showing up to give you the opportunity to not waste your energy on things that are not worth your time. Time is our true currency here on the planet. We talk about money as being the currency, but time is really the real currency. And so this is inviting you to understand that things are shifting, things are changing. You don't want to lose time or waste time giving your energy, investing your energy into the wrong things. So pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't overinvest or don't engage in things that are not aligned with all of the things and the stuff that you've worked towards. All right, and we've got one final card to wrap up our reading today, and that's our Dark Moon card. And the Dark Moon card is not actually part of the, sort of the scientific or the physical new moon cycle component, but it is a release card that happens in between the balsamic moon energy. It's an energetic cycle, and it's going to be happening on April 6th. And basically it's, after all of this stuff and all the things that I've learned, what is it that I actually need to release at this time? And we've got King of Swords. I love this because we started with that Ace of Swords energy, and the Swords energy has been, we've got the Ace of Swords and we've got that Five of Swords playing in. So I feel like it's releasing this idea that we have to involve the mind or the head in any of it. And I think it's really interesting that that's been a big theme throughout the whole month. It's almost like the whole month is a test in Can I walk my talk? Can I be in flow without allowing the monkey mind to take over, without allowing my mind to run the show and to control things? Can I truly be in flow? And King of Swords, that king energy, that leadership energy, he's very thoughtful. He's done all of his homework, but he also doesn't really worry about anything because he knows he can defend himself. He knows he's got what he needs around him. He's allowing the plan to unfold. He's observant, but he's observant in, I want to say, a more, in a quieter way. He's observant not because he's although he is a communicator. What he's doing is he's watching things unfold and he's keeping an eye on where things are at, but he's not engaging in a whole lot of stuff. So I feel like what we're kind of releasing during this month is this idea of, oh my God, I need to have all my ducks in a row. Now what you've learned is I do have all of my ducks in a row when I ask for help. I have my ducks in a row when I connect with source. I have my ducks in a row when I am energetically aligned to where I'm going and growing. And that's what this is about. So you're releasing this idea that I have to bring the mind into everything. No, you don't. You just went through a whole month where the mind was secondary. And I'm not saying the mind doesn't have its place. It absolutely has its place. This is the time where you've recognized I've done a whole cycle this month without really having to involve my head in the process. What is that teaching me? What is that showing me? How is that aligning my mind energy with my heart and my soul? And I feel like that's, at essence, that's the core of the lesson. Holy cannoli, we have got such a fun moon cycle month. I'm so excited about this month. I can't even express it to you. The cards just really told their own story, and I think that's fabulous. For those of you, thank you so much for connecting. Feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube. For those of you who have not yet joined my Black Feather community, I highly encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. It's completely free, and we get together once a month to talk all things metaphysical. It's our gathering of Phoenix energy. We also do a monthly Spread Your Wings challenge to keep us all, I want to say, sort of spiritually or energetically on track with our own spiritual awakening, our own spiritual paths. And it's really, quite frankly, an opportunity to create friendships. So it's not the Stacy show. It's not Black Feather show. It's Stacy facilitating an opportunity for fellow clients, fellow members to connect with one another, because so many of us feel so alone in this process that we don't have a lot of people that we can talk to about these spiritual and these energetic experiences that are going on. So I encourage you to click on that. Again, it's completely free. It's always going to be completely free. There are other things within the membership that you can access if you'd like to dive a little deeper, things that are for purchase. I have an Archangel Conversations and Beyond in there. I've got all sorts of, fun resources that are in there to help you with your path. But I encourage you to do that. And you'll get more of this sort of new moon energy stuff and working with the astrology and the energies. So that's my spiel, my pitch. And I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope you have the most amazing new moon cycle, and we'll see you on the flip side. Take care, transform well.